Merci beaucoup. Thank you very much. Kin Chao Kui Vi. I was practicing with Senator No, so I hope that sounded okay. Senator, thank you very much for that very kind introduction. Merci beaucoup pour cette introduction très sincère. And thank you to everyone for being here this evening. It's always a good idea to ensure that the politician speaks before supper, because that way it won't be too long. Because I know that if I keep you waiting for this wonderful meal, I'll lose some support minute by minute. So I'll keep my remarks rather brief. I want to thank all our candidates for being here this evening, and thank you to our members of Parliament who are joining us tonight. Often I get asked by people, about a year ago when I was leader of the Conservative Party, I would get people stopping me at the airport or in restaurants, and they would say things like, "Good luck, we hope you win." In the last few weeks, people have been stopping me and grabbing my arm, squeezing very tightly, and saying, "Andrew, you just have to beat these guys in the next election." And often people say, "How can I help you win?" Well, if you're in the room tonight, you're helping us. Thank you. But I'd ask you to go one step further and introduce yourself to one of the candidates or members of Parliament here this evening, because they need your help too. If you live in the GTA, if you can spare a few hours a day, please find out who is running in your riding and offer to go door knocking or hand out a few pieces of literature, because we need all of your help. We are a grassroots party. Our strength is in our volunteers and our members. We don't have well-connected third parties and big unions putting thousands of dollars behind ads. We don't have the same coverage in the media, but we do have a secret weapon. We have every single one of you who are willing to take our principled conservative values door to door. That's what's going to win us the next election. So there are only 128 days until the next election when we get to vote in a new Conservative government. And I know I'm certainly ready, and I want to thank everyone who have been a part of this evening. I've had the pleasure of attending several events with the Vietnamese community over the last couple of years. And the Vietnamese community has contributed significantly, not only to our Conservative Party, but also to our country. Your language, your culture, and the family values that we share make our society a better place. And your perseverance in the face of incredible hardship as an inspiration to all of us. On April 30th this year, Canadians marked the 5th annual Journey to Freedom Day, which was introduced by Senator No and passed by our previous Conservative government. Now, this occasion commemorates the exodus of thousands of Vietnamese refugees and their acceptance in Canada following the end of the Vietnam War. They came to Canada seeking a better life for themselves and for future generations, and I share that dream. I am committed to helping build a Canada where the dreams you have for yourselves and your children and grandchildren are within your reach, so that each generation can not only succeed, but help take care of those who have gone before them. I can think of very few people around the world that know the value of freedom more than the Vietnamese community, having had it taken away from them, and the brutalities that followed by a communist government that took away freedoms, took away democratic institutions and fundamental human rights. And I'm so honored and grateful to live in a country that not only has those for its own citizens, but welcomes those seeking those very principles. Canada is a wonderfully diverse nation, and often you hear people say things like the fact that diversity is our strength. And I certainly do celebrate Canada's diversity, but we have to focus on what makes Canada a diverse country. The reasons why waves and waves of immigrants from all corners of the world have come to Canada, it is because we are free. Free to worship, and free to speak, and free to believe. And it is also because of our economic freedom that produces so much prosperity and opportunity. And it is because we are open to the persecuted and the oppressed and the broken. And all of us agree that we can do more to support the world's most vulnerable if we had stronger programs around private sponsoring organizations when it comes to welcoming people from around the world. It is also because we are equal in opportunity and equal before the law. These are the reasons why people have come from every corner of the world, and the government's primary responsibility is to protect those fundamental principles of freedom to ensure Canada remains the great country that it truly is. Now, when it comes to freedom, I would like to say a few words about the importance of free speech and the importance of upholding human rights both here in Canada and around the world. I believe that the right to speak freely, as well as the rights to free assembly and association, are inherent human rights and fundamental to any democratic society. And Canada's Conservatives will always speak out against injustices that take place around the world, standing for freedom, democracy, and human rights, both abroad and here at home. And that is why the Conservative Party opposed Justin Trudeau's summer jobs values test, because we know that it violated that principle of freedom and diversity that he claims to protect. Conservatives will always fight against the government imposing that type of thing on the Canadian people. Now, I know that this election you're going to have a lot of issues that people are talking about. I think we have to remember a few core principles. I believe in Canada so fundamentally, but at the root of that is my belief in Canadians. See, the major difference between Liberals and Conservatives is that Liberals put their faith in government, but Conservatives put our faith in people. I believe that people who are working hard to provide for their families and who are running their own small businesses, I believe in their potential to help make Canada everything it should be and to create jobs and opportunity and prosperity for everyone in society. And I believe they need a government who has got their backs, not just coming up with a new tax, who see them as the backbone of this country instead of just a human piggy bank for the government. And I'm running to be Prime Minister for the people who just need a break. The people who are doing everything right, going to university, getting a good job, working hard and paying their bills on time, but who still can't seem to get ahead at the end of the month, whose hopes and dreams keep getting further and further away. The parents who sit around the dinner table, like mine often did, crunching the numbers to figure out how they can pay their bills at the end of the month. These people know what Justin Trudeau doesn't know. They know that budgets don't balance themselves. That you can't borrow your way to debt, and you can't spend money you don't have. These people can't afford 4 more years of Trudeau's runaway deficits, ballooning debt, and skyrocketing interest payments. They deserve a new government. A government that knows it's already hard enough in life to get ahead without the government making it harder. A government that views its citizens as drivers of prosperity, not sources of revenue. A government that understands that balancing the budget is the best way to preserve programs and services that Canadians rely on the most, and that a government that will put the safety and security of our children and our families at the forefront of everything we do. Our campaign will be focused on making life more affordable for Canadians, and that is why the first piece of legislation that I will introduce will be an act to repeal the carbon tax. We're going to go further. We're going to recognize the fact that the GST and the HST is not applied on necessities in life. It's only applied on what governments deem, the discretionary spending. Well, heating your home in Canada is not a luxury. It's a necessity. And a Conservative government will remove the GST and HST portion off of home, hydro, and home energy bills. We're also going to make tax-free the maternity and paternity benefits that new parents receive when they take time off work. We recognize that raising children is the most honorable thing that a family can do, and they need the government's support, not always making it more expensive. So we will make those maternity benefits tax-free to help leave more money. So Justin Trudeau can keep writing big checks to multinational corporations and multi-billion-dollar corporations like Loblaws and companies that have well-paid government relations officers. We're going to make sure that we leave more money in your pocket to let you get ahead. That is our positive vision for Canada. So, 128 days. We need all of you. We need our MPs, our senators, we need our candidates, but we need you, the grassroots organizers, the people who give up a couple hours a week to go door to door and spread that message. But I am confident about one thing, that all of us working together, focusing on our positive conservative vision to help people get ahead in life, we can and we will make sure that Justin Trudeau is a one-term Prime Minister. Thank you very much. Merci beaucoup.